Okay, so this is my presentation on the 6-week training session for Emily. First thing I needed to look at was the process, and so I need to consider things like the PARQ test, the max heart rate, and also the training zones Emily would work in. The PARQ turns out to be irrelevant as my client isn't affected by any of the questions asked about her health or anything like injury. Emily isn't affected by anything like previous operations or injuries. She doesn't have any heart conditions or any medical problems, so there should be no barriers to any types of exercise and no problems that may occur during training. Emily's max heart rate is worked out to be 120 minus her age, so as she is 17, her max heart rate would be 203. So I will monitor that she reaches this to see improvements when training. To see muscular endurance improvements, I will need to work Emily at high intensities and moderate duration. This can be achieved in specific training zones. The training zone should be around 70 to 80%. This would mean when training, I would need Emily's heart rate to be between 164 to 177 beats per minute. This is to make sure she is training in the correct zone. Next we're moving on to the effects. So factoring in Emily personally, this means I need to factor in things like what she wants to achieve in her normal lifestyle, her likes and dislikes, and her exercise history. Emily stated she is looking to achieve improvements in muscular endurance, especially in her legs, as they are used most when she is playing football. This means training will be based to improve and specifically in the legs. Emily isn't going to be affected much by likes and dislikes, as she isn't against any types of exercise. It makes it easier for me, and I can vary the training exercise to see improvements. It also means I'm able to vary exercises over the weeks. A problem may be her normal lifestyle, as she has commitments with college and football. This will affect how many training sessions can be done a week and the duration of them. This will have to be worked around. Emily does have a history of previous exercise, so this means she won't be new to training, meaning it will be easier to go through the sessions, and training won't have to start from the bottom, meaning it will be able to progress as she is already starting from somewhere. Okay, now we're moving on to the targets Emily wants to hit. Emily's main target is to see improvements in her muscular endurance over the next 6 weeks. The main reason she is looking to improve this is to help her when she is playing football. An increase in muscular endurance will mean she will be able to play longer and be more effective for her team. It will give her an edge when playing. The way Emily's targets will be perceived and achieved is by testing her prior to the 6 weeks and then post 6 week sessions and see how much she has improved in that time. This is done by performing a test to test her muscular endurance, like the step-up test. She scored a very good score of 120 beats per minute. Then we'll record the results and then repeat in 6 weeks' time and compare the results to see what improvements have been made. Okay, we're moving on to the sessions now, and this is very important. In every session there will be a warm-up and a cool-down. A warm-up will be performed before every session to help prepare my client for exercise and to avoid things like injuries, which will affect the 6-week program. A warm-up normally contains static stretching, dynamic stretching, and a game situation drill, due to the fact it will be endurance work on the muscles, specifically in the legs, and the warm-up will be more static and dynamic as well. The warm-up will include a good 5 to 10 minutes of static stretching, really working the lower muscles like the quadriceps and the hamstrings. There will be another 5 to 10 minutes of dynamic stretching. This will again work the lower muscles in the body. Emily specifically wants to improve her muscular endurance in her legs. This means exercise will be more intense in the legs. That means stretching will be needed to be concentrated more in the legs. So examples would be more stretching at the hamstrings, quads, calves, rather than the arms and shoulders. With the cool-down, a cool-down is equally as important as a warm-up. A cool-down prevents things like cramp and injury, as it also speeds up recovery and means that my client will be more prepared for the next session. The cool-down will aim to relieve any build-up of lactic acid in the muscles after the workout. This is because the type of exercise will result in this happening. so the cooldown is important to help recover from every session. The cooldown will be light stretching and movements to remove any waste product buildup. This will help with recovery. Okay, this is the timetable for the 6-week session. The table is designed to show the schedule of my clients at both normal daily activities. Mainly Emily's day will include just going to college. College takes up a lot of Emily's time, as she will go to college 5 out of the 7 days and averages about 4 hours a day. This doesn't include things like homework, so there must be time accounted for college and college work. This means sessions must need to be planned around this. Another thing, and the biggest thing that will affect Emily's training effectively, Emily is committed to football 3 times a week. It is very important to her and the reason why she is training. This also will affect hours she can train, and will also her fitness levels, as training and playing matches will affect her fitness and may lead to not being able to train on or days after due to need for recovery. So sessions will need to be planned around this as well. By looking at the days of Emily's schedule, I have planned days to train which don't clash with anything she is doing, but also allows enough training for her to train effectively. With every session, I aim to make them all equal in both intensity and duration each week. This means for the 3 sessions each week, they will all look to be the same intensity and duration. However, every week I will look to increase the intensity and duration of the exercise to make sure she sees improvement. I will also alter the exercises to avoid tedium. Each session is very important, and under each I have shown a plan of what will happen in the session and for how long and also why. Overall, each session will be very important for her. This is so that sorry about that. Yeah, so using sport, I can explain what will occur in each of Emily's sessions. The specificity of the session is to aim to improve muscular endurance, so all exercise will be aimed at that. Even more specifically, the exercise will be aimed at muscular endurance in the legs, as Emily plays football. The progression part will come each week, as my client will improve the exercises, and every 2 weeks will improve the intensity and duration of the exercises. The overload part is less needed with this training, as it's working on endurance. However, it may be used in specific exercises to build up a bit of muscular strength to make the muscles stronger. The reversibility will not be a factor, as my client is in no risk of injury or fatigue with this training program. Tedium will also be dealt with, as there will be different exercises to make sure she doesn't become too bored and demotivated. Each session is very important, as it gives Emily a chance to improve. So I'm now just going to quickly go through why every day and why I've chosen to put a session on a specific day. So Monday, I've decided not to plan a session at all on Monday because of a combination of both football training and college. College on Monday is a long day for Emily, so this takes up more of her time on that day. More time is taken up by football training after college. This means she will not be sufficient amount of time for a session, as well as training will also be enough exercise to cause fatigue, and Emily will not have any energy to train Monday. Tuesday, on this day, a session is planned, as there is enough time to be able to complete a session even with college. This is because it is a shorter day at college, so there is time for Emily to go to college and also complete an effective session. This means the session will happen after college, so even though she has other commitments, she'll still be able to do another session. The session will include the entire warm-up, the exercise, and the cool-down. On Wednesday, much like Monday, no session is planned here because of Emily's busy schedule on both college and football. This means that Emily will not have time to have an effective session, as her time will be filled with both college and football training. Also, like before, training means having a session today will be drastically less effective and basically pointless, as Emily is too fatigued from football to perform an effective workout. She will also be getting the benefits of running around at football, as she gains muscular endurance. Thursday will be a day off from any type of exercise from Emily. This is because everyone, even professional athletes, need a rest day. Emily needs time to recover and regenerate and prepare for her next days of exercise. So other than college, on a Thursday, Emily has nothing planned other than resting up. On this session, a session is planned as there is enough time to be able to complete a session even with college. This is a shorter day at college for Emily also, and so she'll be able to complete a session in this time. This means the session will happen after college, so other commitments are there, but they're not as much of a factor. Saturday is Emily's game day, and this means training sessions wouldn't be a good idea. This is because a game is more taxing on the body than, say, a football training session. This means she will be even more fatigued and training will be less effective. It will be more effective on alternative days. My client also uses Saturday to do her college work. This will also take up time and will limit time to do training sessions. So session Saturday wouldn't be the best thing. And finally, Sunday. Sunday will be the best day for a session as she has nothing planned like football or college on this day. This means she has a full free day for a session. It will be effective as there will be lots of time to go through it and there will be no football to make her tired. It is a perfect day to complete the full session, and it will really work her hard and see improvements to her muscular endurance. Sunday is the most effective day to train, so the session will probably look to have more in it and a slight increase of intensity. This may be running, more lifting the heart rate, or increasing the training zones to 80% to 90%. This is higher intensity and will lead to harder work and quicker improvements. Now we're going to move on to specific weeks, and I'm going to talk about the sessions within them. So week 1, the first session is on a Tuesday, and that will be bike interval training exercises. So this will be done with the way the session is carried out is this can either be done with an actual bike or a training bike. The way it works is it's stages of sprinting on the bike and like taking rest. So you sprint for 30 seconds and then you slowly do it for 5 minutes. You can increase the height of the hill you're climbing or lower it. So it's working on endurance, building up endurance in the muscles in the legs, specifically the quads. I am using this because it will help improve her muscular endurance on the bike. The Thursday session will be weight training. This isn't specifically attacking muscular endurance, but it will help. Using weight training can help muscular strength, which can in terms help muscular endurance. So when lifting weights, doing squats, bicep curls, stuff like that, bench press, it can help build up muscle, which can help improve her muscular endurance. And then on the Sunday, this will be distance running. This will be constant long distance running. So this will be like continuous training. This will be running for a prolonged period of time for up to an hour or 2 hours. This will improve her muscular endurance as it's a constant workout for the muscles as she's running for long. This will help improve the muscular endurance. In week 2, this will be the exercises will differ to avoid tedium. So the first, the session on Tuesday will be distance swimming. This is just as a variety of the running one. So this will be like continuous training, constantly working out more of the body than running, but it still works on muscular endurance. The second session will be HIIT training. This will be high intensity training. This will be working on muscular endurance as it's at high intensities, really working those muscles for a long period of time. This will help improvements. So this can be done by circuit training, quick bursts for a long period of time. The final session this week will be circuit training. This is like helps avoid tedium, and it's a variety of exercises set up in a circuit to improve. I've worked them out to improve muscular endurance. So this will be like different varieties of exercising attacking different muscles to improve the muscular endurance of the body.